What's going on, guys? Chuck here. With the holidays coming up, actually Thanksgiving this is Saturday before Thanksgiving. Things have kind of slowed down. I don't really have a lot, big, releases that coming. I mean, stuff in the pipeline. It's coming, especially. I think I have a few things. Well, I know I have some stuff from Arrow still waiting. Should be shipping within probably this coming week. That being I believe it's the Coffin Joe set and Barbarella possibly. I think it's coming in sometime this week. The other Arrow stuff I've got, but I don't think that's coming out till January or December probably. But nonetheless, it's kind of things have kind of died down. My mailbox is not as busy, but in lieu of that, plus with holidays coming up, I thought I have picked up a lot of stuff that I haven't shown you here. Mostly little, a lot of replacements. I'm going through a phase right now where I'm replacing a lot of this collection. A lot of this stuff on here is older DVDs, some Blu-rays, a lot of Blu-rays actually, but a lot of older DVDs. So I've been going through and just looking at stuff that I can upgrade between this and my Best Picture collection. Also, as I mentioned before, my Best Picture collection is primarily DVDs. At the time, they were the best DVD that I could find that was out there. And currently, I'm in the process of trying to upgrade some of those to Blu-ray, if not 4Ks, and even better collector's editions if possible. So I've got a lot of stuff that's come in, and I thought, what the heck, I would just show you what I've been picking up. There's a lot, so it's sit back. This is gonna be, I have a lot to go through, so let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to show you stuff that is new to me. Nothing that was replaced, just stuff I've picked up, and also a lot of this stuff was bought, around October. Arrow and Scream Factory were both having their October sales. So I, went nuts on them. I think at one point when we were in Memphis over a weekend for a wedding, I was killing time and just going through and started ordering a bunch of stuff. Not during the wedding, but anyways. So start off with that. One of the first things I picked up from Arrow was the Slayer video nasty. One I didn't know a whole lot about except for the trailer and some of the reputation, but it was pretty cool. They had it on sale, still available. Check it out. This is actually a little fun movie. It's not great, but it was enjoyable. And there's an audience response track that's on here, and you watch it, which is pretty cool. They screened this at the place where they filmed it, an old restored theater. And it was interesting, kind of a weird twist, didn't quite make sense, but still fun. So there was that Slayer. One I picked up here from Synapse, the 4K special 2-disc Blu-ray, or excuse me, not 4K. This is Blu-ray. I thought it was 4K. This Blu-ray, Tombs of the Blind Dead, a Spanish horror film. This was interesting because it's got a couple different variations of the audio track. I watched the Spanish-English hybrid, which was interesting to watch because everybody's speaking in their dubbed English, and all of a sudden they'll start speaking Spanish, and then they'll stop. It's really disjointing, but it was a good creepy movie. Not thrilled with the ending. I won't get into it, but the woman just got up and ran, and the problems don't happen. But it was still fun. It was a different take on zombies with the Knights of Templar. A nice little Spanish horror film. So now for some newer films I picked up, I did get the 4K of Transformers Rise of the Beast, the most recent Transformers film. Chris and I got to see this at the drive-in when it came out over summer, and I really enjoyed this. This is probably one of the best Transformers movies that have been out in a long time. Bumblebee notwithstanding, because that was really good too. Which it follows in the vein of that Bumblebee film, so it's a nice reboot. I mean, the Transformers in here look like the Transformers you remember, kind of like what I liked about Bumblebee. Now, the Michael Bay Transformers, while I enjoyed the first one, the rest were all hit and miss. And the designs of those Transformers I could never tell who was who except for Prime. Prime is the only one I can recognize because he had the red color scheme. Everybody else pretty much looked the same. With Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, they were distinct. Again, as a person who grew up and loved the Transformers, was a big Transformers kid, it was good to see these and recognize some of these Transformers, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one a lot. So if you haven't seen Rise of the Beast, check it out. Next up was a brand new one, Stephen King's Duel. I have never seen this. I've always heard about Stephen King. Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's Duel. His first film. Actually, it says up there right. Steven Spielberg's first film. I saw this was getting released at 4K and automatically picked it up. I've always heard, again, it's interesting to see what, the director he's become, and see his beginnings. So, yeah, I'm glad I checked this out. And also on this, it includes the original TV movie version in its 1:3:3 aspect ratio. So, that's pretty cool. Next one. Now, this one is actually a replacement. It should be in a stack, but it's a replacement. And it is a 4K of American Graffiti. George Lucas's first film. Well, second film, actually, because it was THX 1138 being his first film. But prior to the second film, but first well-known film before Star Wars. So yeah, this is getting the 4K treatment. This is a nice little fun, nostalgic movie. Good cast. I'm sure there wasn't nothing to be said about American Graffiti. It's been said. But so there's that. Now from Scream Factory, I also got a little, during the sale, a little horror comedy gem. One that I remember years and years ago. But I don't remember if I ever saw the whole thing. And that was Saturday the 14th. Just, it's one of those movies that always sticks out because it's Saturday the 14th. Obviously, it's riffing off of Friday the 13th. And yeah, it just seemed like, this was the time to get it. It was, during the sale. Why not? So there's that. New release from Scream Factory. And this is one that they've released. It's like a new release, a new 4K release from them of a catalog title. But it was one I had never seen. I always heard a lot about and how good it was. And it's a remake. And that was 1988's The Blob, 4K. Now, I admit, I had never seen this movie until I bought it. And I was really impressed. I really enjoyed it a lot. I mean, all I can say it was a really good remake. I mean, I've seen the original Blob, and I did enjoy that one. But, it is what it is. This actually is... had a nice, again, kind of fun, creepy, menacing tone. But it's not too dark, but it's just really good. It was really good. The effects were excellent. And like I said, I think because it was releasing in 4K, I figured this is the time to pick it up. And I did. So there it is, The Blob. Next up, we got some Warner Brothers titles. Of course, 4K of The Exorcist. There was a lot of versions that came out of this. I was debating, what do I get? Which one do I pick up? Do I try and get that limited collector's the big Bible that's Region B? But again, it's 4K, doesn't matter. Or there's a cut. I didn't get the tin because I don't really like tins. I tried to avoid tins, or steel books, excuse me, as much as possible. As I said before, I know a lot of people love them. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I get them if that's the only way they're available, but if I can not get them, I prefer not to. I know I'm probably alone. Everyone loves steelbooks. I don't know why I don't. I just don't. So, but I went for this one, and it's basically all the same. A lot of special features on here, just more simplified version of it. And I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I mean, Chris, we went and saw Exorcist Believer. A lot of people, it's got a lot of mixed reviews on that. Chris and I enjoy it. Actually, for Chris, he's not really coming in jaded because he has, no. He's never seen any of the Exorcist films. It's hard to. I'm surprised he sat there and watched this one. He was a little creeped out, but he was into it. He enjoyed it. I thought it was, it's not groundbreaking, but I thought it was enjoyable. I liked it. But again, I'm not hard to please. I'm not going to lie. So, whatever. Next up, movie I really did enjoy, we saw at the drive-in early summer, Barbie. This was fun. It's got a lot of flack from, I guess, people who just, I don't know, think it's got an agenda. I don't know what their problem is. I had a lot of fun. This movie was so fun because it was just making fun of itself. I enjoyed the hell out of your narration. Ryan Gosling is just hilarious. Margot Robbie is Barbie. I mean, it's a great casting. And this was actually more fun than I thought it was going to be when I went in. I wasn't sure, seeing the trailers, what this movie was even going to be about or what the tone of it was. But, once we saw it, I was all in. This was just great, great fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I really enjoyed it. Also, for Warner Brothers, The Flash. Another divisive movie. This whole DC franchise is divisive to everybody. And the big selling point with this was you get Michael Keaton, the multiverses, all that. Of course, there's all the controversy over the rebooting of the DC Cinematic Universe, yada yada yada. I thought it was fun. There's a lot of fan service, sure. Some things that you would have liked to have done instead. I mean, I think it would have been cooler to have Superman, but the whole Henry Cavill thing's whatever. But Michael Keaton is great. He's still really good in the Batman role. I thought, I know that all the controversy too with Ezra Miller kind of weighed down this film, unfortunately. But take that out of the way, I think he actually gives a really good performance. And I think it's a fun movie. Maybe a little long in some space, but again, I really liked it, so I had fun with it. The Flash, and then the last of these new films, again another DC one, Blue Beetle. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this going in, but once I got, because I didn't get the chance to see this in theater, I missed it, but I picked up, once this came available, I picked it up. We sat down and watched it, and I had a lot of fun with this. This was a great, just family fun. Susan Sarandon was, fun as a nice bad guy, which is something different seeing her play. Was it the actor who I can't, from Cobra Kai, whose name like Cholo something, or I can't remember his name is, was great. It's fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's basically a big, comic book movie. Nothing too, I don't know. It's not going to break the mold, if you will. But it's a good fun, and there's a lot of appeal of the family. Obviously you've got a Hispanic family. There's a lot of play on that, but then the family aspect is important. Now the sister in this movie is annoying. Now she does annoy me. I'm not going to lie. But overall, it's a lot of fun. George Lopez is great too. So that's all the new stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Now let's look into the replacements. Start off with some of these one-offs here. I picked up the 4K Addams Family. I love the Addams Family live-action movies. I love the anime ones that just came out recently. Those are fun too, but these are great. And Kara loves Addams Family. Of course, obviously she's a big Wednesday fan. She became that way. Well, she was a Wednesday fan before the series of Wednesday. She saw the Addams Family cartoons or whatever, and we watched it. She enjoyed it. I showed her these. She really likes them a lot too. But I love the Addams Family. Again, especially Raul Julia. He is just a fantastic Gomez Addams. And if you watch the new animated ones, and Oscar Isaacs, who does the voice of Gomez, you can he's basically channeling Raul Julia in his voice work for that, and it's great because he was a fan. This is a lot of fun. Now, I had this on a DVD, a 2-pack DVD with Addams Family Values, and then I bought both of them on Blu-ray because we watched those movies recently. Me and Kara sat there and watched them on the projector, and the DVDs were just, I'm like, wow, we could do better than this. So I went and bought Blu-rays, and then I saw that they had the 4K of the original, and I just had to get excited. I love this movie so much. Both these movies. And I was the same that, Raul passed away before they could do a third one, because it would have been a lot of fun to see him there, because he was so much fun in this role. Next up, Stephen King. I got it right this time. It was Christine. Although John Carpenter's Christine, technically. But based on Stephen King's great novel. This is one that I was always surprised that Scream Factory never picked up. They got almost every other John Carpenter title, save a few. And I'm really surprised they didn't get this one, because I kept waiting and waiting, because I had an old Blu-ray of Christine. But I'm like, why isn't Scream Factory getting, a special collector's edition of Christine? And this was, who put this out, actually? I'm not sure. I think it's just whatever studio. I can't really see down here. Sony, probably. Columbia Pictures Sony, and this is a 35th anniversary. This is a fun movie, and I'm glad to, this was relatively cheap. It was like under $10 when I picked it up from Amazon. So I'm glad that someone got a hold of it and did a nice 4K restoration, or not restoration, but actually put it in 4K. New release, again, another Stephen King title. This is from Kino Lorber. It is Kujo in 4K. This is one I had like a collector's edition DVD for years, and I kept seeing this is another one I really wanted to get a nice upgrade in. Kino Lorber came through with the 4K Blu-ray. Again, another great Stephen King adaptation. The book is really good. Obviously, some variations from the book in the movie, but this is a nice adaptation. I really like it. Next up was the 4K Blu-ray of It Came from Outer Space. This is one I hope to be talking about soon on my reviewing 3D movies. I did have the Blu-ray 3D, or 3D Blu-ray, excuse me. And I saw this being a 4K release. I don't know if it's for an anniversary or what, but, and I wasn't sure if I was going to pick it up because I had the Blu-ray, or the 3D Blu-ray. But as a bonus feature on there, this does include the Blu-ray, the 3D Blu-ray. I'm just tangling all over the place. The 3D Blu-ray along with, I think it's a bonus feature. So you have the Blu-ray and the 4K, and as a bonus feature on the Blu-ray is the 3D version of it. So I said, what the heck, I'll pick it up. It's too bad you can't get a 4K Blu-ray, or 4K 3D Blu-ray. My tongue is just all over the place. So yeah, I'm hoping to to pull out the 3D version of this and talk about it here soon. I'll see what happens. This next one is just recently. I just pulled a shrink wrap off it today. This Pulp Fiction 4K. And I do have like an old DVD collector's edition. I had not upgraded to Blu-ray, and the kicker with this, it was like $7 on Amazon. So I jumped on it immediately. I said, what the hell? The first Quentin Tarantino film I ever saw. And I saw it, a friend of mine showed it to me because he saw the movie in theater and loved this movie. He was all in love with Pulp Fiction. And we went to a comic convention, like we used to have like a monthly weekend comic conventions at, little hotel ballrooms. And he bought a bootleg VHS of Pulp Fiction, scanned from a Japanese Laserdisc, I believe. And that's the first time I watched Pulp Fiction was on a bootleg of a Japanese Laserdisc, or bootleg VHS of a Japanese Laserdisc. So not the best quality. And I just remember not quite getting it. It took me a couple of views to really understand it and put it together and realize what I was watching, and I've enjoyed it ever since. So, but yeah, it's one of those memories that I always remember. Yeah, one of those memories that I always think of when I think of Pulp Fiction. These last two upgrades were from Synapse, and that is the Demons 1 and 2 4K edition. Now, I had this same set, but in a Blu-ray. And I saw that Diabolic DVD was having a sale, and they still had the limited editions 4Ks available. Now, I didn't buy the 4K initially because at the time when I bought the Blu-ray, I was not 4K capable. So I just bought the Blu-ray limited edition. But the Diabolic DVD was having a sale. It was still available. I said, what the heck, I'll jump on it and replace it. And I did. Same thing goes for this next title, which is Susperia 4K. And I had the Blu-ray. Again, Diabolic DVD was running a sale on this title. I picked it up. There you go. So, those are those. Also from Arrow during their sale. Actually, on one of these I picked up from Arrow, and that was this Children of the Corn 4K. And this was their Shocktober sale, and I was really surprised I was able to still get a slipcover with this. Did not expect that. I had their original Blu-ray, but it was, again, on sale during Shocktober. I figured, what the heck, I'll upgrade it. I don't have the box, obviously. I'm not a big fan of the sequels. The first one's the only one I like. I know the Arrow released that trilogy box set some time ago, but this is the only Children of the Corn film I really enjoy. The one I remember. So yeah, I picked this up and I was glad to get it. And again, I was shocked when it came in. I was able to get a slipcover. Did not see that coming. Last one from Arrow, even though I didn't get it from Arrow. This was from Grindhouse Video. because they still had it available on sale, and that was the 4K Hills Have Eyes limited edition. I did have, I did get rid of it. The Blu-ray limited edition of the Hills Have Eyes. Again, when this was released in 4K, which is the case with a lot of these titles that I upgraded because I was not 4K capable at the time. I was strictly Blu-ray, so I had to pass up on these. So I'm kind of going back and finding what I can, upgrading, which is, kind of sucks if you're backtracking, but is what it is. And some of these I'm lucky I'm able to get, and this was one of them. So this is the limited edition with all the, the book, the poster, the lobby cards, all that stuff in it. This is a 4K. Which, on that note, I should also mention, I don't have them here, but I also replaced my Flash Gordon and American Werewolf in London sets. Which Flash Gordon limited edition was the very first Arrow Blu-ray I ever bought, and I got it from Diabolic, I believe. And I was like, that's why I was like really impressed with Arrow. I started buying, these collector sets after the fact, and American Werewolf in London was another one, but I replaced those with 4Ks. Again, long after that, so I had to get them third party, but I got them for a relatively good price, so I don't feel too bad. And next up, the Scream Factory titles that I got from their Shocktober sale. These were all 4K upgrades. First up was Return of the Living Dead. This is the only one I wasn't able to get a slipcover for. It's disappointing, but I get it. It's been out there for a while, and I was, I hadn't hot on this one for the longest time. And the thing, I guess, with the Scream Factories, I wasn't sure if I was going to replace it, because these were all 4K Blu-ray, so I could still have picked them up. But for the longest time, I had a lot of these titles. Like, why do I want to upgrade them? I don't know. It's like, should I even bother? Then, once I got 4K capable and I see some of the difference, and I'm like, some of these titles I think I really want to get in 4K. And some of them have new features on them. Not many of them. Pretty much most of Scream Factory's 4K titles, catalog titles, have all the same features from their Blu-ray. It's very rare that they have some new features when they re-release it in 4K. And I don't think this is any exception. But I went ahead and got the Return of the Living Dead 4K. No slip. No disappointing, but that's okay, because I remember the original one I actually got from Scream Factory, poster and all that stuff, before I was even a big, collector. I just saw it and bought it, knowing what I was getting with it. So maybe I can find a slipcover somewhere, depending on how much I want to pay. Next up, Funhouse 4K. Again, it's another one I had. When I was picking up stuff from Scream Factory. It was what I remember thinking. It's been out there for a while. I should probably pick it up before it disappears. And then lo and behold, they put out a 4K. So there's an upgrade for that. Next up, this is one I hemmed and hawed about for the longest time too, because I really liked that Blu-ray. But then I think it was me watching Christian Hannah Horror talking about this movie, how much of an improvement it was, and how, because he really loved the Blu-ray, but this 4K was great. That is The Burning. So once again, Christian sold me on this. He's done so often with a lot of his reviews. And this is a movie I really like. This is a nice little, I think, slash film that deserves to be known more than it probably is. And yeah, so I'm glad I picked this one up on 4K. Another one up, Motel Hell. Again, one I had picked up a long time ago, and I like a lot of these. Like I said, I didn't really think I should pick them. Why waste it? Because I didn't have a 4K player. I didn't even think about getting it for the future, and just why bother. But some of these titles, again, these were on sale too, so that helped a lot in my decision now of picking some of these up. So yep, Motel Hell. Next up, Piranha. So yeah, this was just like no-brainer. I love silly fish films. I'm also a big fan of the Piranha 3D remake as a fun 3D movie, and just silly fun. Again, another one that I had, like a lot of these, like I said, all these I've had. I'm kind of rambling about that over and over again, but again, it's on sale. It seemed like a great chance to pick it up. Why not? Upgrade. And again, I'm just impressed that I was getting these slipcovers of all these 4Ks straight from Scream Factory. A lot of these have been out for, I was checking the dates on them, honestly, because I know there's like a 3-month window when you're guaranteed a slipcover. After that, it's all bets are off. Some of these, I guess I'm just pushing that window, so I was lucky. I don't know. Some of these I really didn't think I would be able to get any. Next up, Candyman. Another one is on sale, so what the heck? I'll upgrade it to the 4K. I have not seen this movie in a long time, actually. And I should. I've had this sitting on my shelf forever, at least the Blu-ray by itself, and I should probably find time and just pick it up and check it out again. Because I remember this was really big when I was in high school or junior high school. Yeah, high school I think it was. Candyman was huge. So yeah, I should probably check that out. Let's spill those. Next up, and again, this is one I was really impressed. I still got all of them, but some of these I figure would sell out faster than others. And that was Life Force. And I had the Blu-ray. I just recently watched it and was the director's cut. I was really impressed with this movie. It's a really good. Well, it's really good, but I really enjoyed this movie for what it is, and not just because of the Matilda May being nude in almost entire film, but it's a nice little science fiction space vampire movie, I guess. Now I think with this, that's only the theatrical cut is in 4K apparently. Yeah, so this too is a. Hold on a second here. Yeah, okay. So disc 1 is the 4K theatrical cut. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray theatrical cut, and then disc 3 is the director's cut. It's only a Blu-ray, so that's kind of disappointing that they didn't put a 4K of the director's cut, but I'm sure there's some reason for that. It's always nice when you get these companies that when they have these films, they're putting in 4K. If they put every version that they have in 4K, sometimes that's probably not plausible or feasible, depending on the material they have available to make that director's cut. But if it's an actual release director's cut, then the element should be there. I would think they could make it 4K, but again, it's probably some kind of legal rights, permissions, whatever. But nonetheless, it's all here. So, Life Force, check it out. Another one I was surprised to get a slipcover for because I didn't think there would be any left because I figured this would sell out really quickly. And that was They Live, the Roddy Piper, John Carpenter film. And this is one, again, we saw about 2 years ago, I think, at the drive-in. I just revisit and remember, how much fun this is. And it's a great little, I'm not sure how to categorize it, but almost a conspiracy. I don't know, but there's a lot, in it, and Piper is probably, I would say, probably the best performance of Roddy Piper's career. Obviously, he's most well known outside of Hell Comes to Frogtown, but that's for all different reasons. And it's, I don't say it's an underrated John Carpenter film because I think it's pretty much getting its recognition now, as most of the case with John Carpenter. A lot of the films are, with the exception of probably Halloween, been forgotten about initially or brushed off, and then years later they've gone back and people realize that it's a better film, or it's this looked at better as time goes on. So, and the last Scream Factory release that I picked up was John Carpenter's The Fog. Again, this is when I had a hard time. Do I get this? Do I not? I really love the Scream Factory Blu-ray, but I figure, what the heck, why not? Again, I got really sold on upgrading to 4K here after I really I started watching 4K, got 4K capable, started seeing, the difference in these, yeah. So there you go, the 4K Fog upgrade. And the last one, this isn't a Scream Factory, but it was just a movies that I really enjoyed, and I saw, not just with the Scream Factory, but anything in the catalog I have up here that I really like, movies I really like. If I can get them upgraded to 4K, I'm trying to do that. Or, in the case of DVDs, if I can just get a Blu-ray upgrade. And that being, so I got the 4K Karate Kid Trilogy, which this was a nice box set. And I was it's been out for a while. It's nothing new. That's why I didn't do anything about it. But it includes all 3 Karate Kid films in 4K. So, and it's for a pretty good price from Amazon. And I had the DVD 4 DVD set of the Karate Kid, not the trilogy plus the next Karate Kid. But it was just the 4K. It was like 2 discs, maybe 3 discs. I'll get that later. And so it included all 4 films. But this is just the original trilogy in 4K. But because I had that set, I had to replace the next Karate Kid. So I did get the next Karate Kid. I know you're like, why? It's not that great. But it's still a Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid movie. It's not great. It's not memorable. But it's got Mr. Miyagi. Good enough for me. And apparently this is still canon in the Cobra Kai universe. They got one more season. Who knows? They may get Hilary Swank in there. Okay. Last up is let's make some room here. I got a lot of stuff everywhere. The Best Picture upgrades. Take a drink. Take a drink for the working man, as Steve Austin would say. And so I've been going through trying to upgrade my Best Picture collection. As a lot of those I've said before are DVDs. The more modern ones, like from early 2000, mid 2000s on, are all Blu-rays. But from 27 down, they're a mix of DVD, Blu-ray, mostly DVD heavy. So I'm trying to upgrade those. Starting with 1929's Broadway Melody. This is from Warner Archive Collections. The second film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. Nothing really fancy on this, but it was just cheap. It was on Blu-ray. I had a DVD. Replace it. Next up is Cimarron. This was 1931 Best Picture. Again, a film not people don't talk or don't really care for, or it's not looked at very fondly. Not looked at very fondly. Hasn't aged well, unfortunately. But it's still one I actually like a lot. I'm probably the only one. Another Warner Archive, but. The 4K, this is from 1995. It's Mel Gibson's Braveheart. This is a film that, when it came out, it was huge. Everybody talked about how good Braveheart. You gotta see Braveheart. Braveheart's so good, to the point where I did not want to see Braveheart. I was just sick of hearing about it. And it wasn't until I went through my very first run of the Academy Award films. I was watching them, and we got to Braveheart. I was like, oh, well, here it comes. Watch Braveheart. And God, that was a really good movie. Which happens a lot when I watch Best Pictures. It happened to me with The Sound of Music and a couple other ones. But I was like, I'm not really looking forward to seeing this movie. But it came out going, wow, that was so good. And Braveheart was one of them. Now, one I didn't have that feeling about. I was all in from the beginning with 1994's Forrest Gump. I saw this film 9 times in the theater. I went over and over and over and over again. I loved this movie so much. I had the VHS when it first came out. I had a 2-disc special edition DVD. I had recently just bought the Blu-ray, and then this 4K came out. I've got to pick up because I love this movie so much. Now from Criterion Collection, 1969's Midnight Cowboy with Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman. The only X-rated film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. Of course, X is meaningless as it's really a R-rated now. It's not a soft R, honestly. But this was a little different for the Academy, but it's a nice Criterion Collection release. I had to pick up because there's a couple of these Best Pictures that are in Criterion that I like to pick up. And of course, Barnes & Noble is currently having their half-off Criterion sale, so I picked up a few things from them. Next up, again from Criterion Collection, this was a great, great edition. And it is 1950s All About Eve. Now, this is a great... What is this? I figure out how to open this. There you go. Nice little cover slip box. And you've got a little book inside. And actually, in here, it has a nice little write-up article or essay about the movie itself. But in here is also, what I think is really neat, is a short story, The Wisdom of Eve. I believe that's what it's called. Let's see. Yeah, The Wisdom of Eve. So the whole entire short story that this movie is based off of is printed in here. So that's, I think it originally appeared in Cosmopolitan magazine or something like that. But they put it here as a bonus feature, or not bonus feature, but as an extra in the booklet. So that's nice. And this is a really good Bay Davis movie. And the last 35 minutes into this, last This is a big one. The 50th anniversary edition of Westside Story. 1961 Best Picture winner. And what I didn't realize until before I made this video, this is a limited edition. Didn't even see that sticker when I first got this. I still have the L card on here. I haven't taken off yet. But here's a look at all this stuff that's on here. I really have gone through this. I had a hard time to open the box. But it slips out, and yeah, this is very tight. But you have all this great books. Oh, so much stuff in here. And West Side Story is actually one of my favorite musicals. I really like the Steven Spielberg version that he did a couple years ago. It was nominated for Best Picture also, which would really been cool if that had won Best Picture and had both versions of West Side Story winning Best Picture. But, a really good musical. The urban version of Romeo and Juliet, yes. I don't know. But, okay, so that is it for this huge pickups video of everything I'm getting here. This has actually been accumulated over the last few months. Or actually probably the last month, within the last month and a half, maybe. I've had stuff coming in nonstop. And so it's been a big haul. It's not everything I wanted to, make individual videos about, because some of it's not really, you can only do so much, so might as well put them all together and show, here's what I got. And a lot of them, again, are just upgrades to sets that I have. Hopefully, like I said, the It Came From Outer Space is the one I'll go in a little more in depth when I get to it for a 3D video, hopefully. And I'm kind of hoping eventually to maybe do a Best Pictures. I kind of think so. Maybe I can go through some of these Best Picture Blu-rays a little more in depth, if you will. So anyways, that's it for now. Again, Thanksgiving is just like a week away. So I hope you guys have a safe, wonderful Thanksgiving, and get ready for, Vinegar Syndrome's Black Friday sale, 1201. I'm primed and ready. I think Severn also is having their Black Friday sale, so they've already announced some titles. Vinegar Syndrome's been kind of hush about what they're releasing, minus some of the stuff they had pre-sales. Also, real quick, I should point out, over here, you see this, if you remember, you see my background, I had my Halloween box set that was there, the original Scream Factory set. Well, part of all these, I did upgrade all those. I got the 4K versions from Scream Factory with the slip boxes and everything. So I have those, all 8 of those films there. I still do have you can't see it, but it's up there, the box. I'm not getting rid of that because I like that set so much. But I had to put these up on the shelf. I didn't want to pull all these out because, you've seen them. But they're all right there. And actually, Scream Factory still had parts 1 through 3 available with slip boxes. And of course, if you buy the 6, 7, and 8, that they come together in that box set, and they still had the slip covers. Now 4 and 5 did not. I had to again get those third party to get them brand new with slip boxes, and for a reasonable price. I didn't go overboard. I mean, Scream Factory was selling them with the slip covers, the basic slip covers, but they would have looked out of place with the rest of them. And I'm anal. I'm a completist. I got to have it all look the same. So I did that. And, again, this is my fault for not getting them when they first came out. I kind of waited too long. In the end, the time they came out, I was not 4K capable. I didn't want to bother. I liked the box set. Time goes on. It's like, oh, okay. So then that's the problem. I got to go back and try and find these things that are, long gone. Luckily for me, I did. So, okay. That is it for this video. Have a safe Thanksgiving. I'll probably have something after Thanksgiving because I'll be busy all week. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to think of something else to do. I'm trying to figure some other videos just to put up. This one's already gone way too long. It's probably the longest video ever. So I'm going to say goodbye now. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.